In this video, we'll look at how to pan, zoom, and rotate your model with better control and less motion sickness in Shapr3D. If you're new to Shapr3D or modeling generally, you'll find that one of the hardest things to manage is moving and rotating your model in a controlled way that minimizes crazy movements and frustration. I use Shapr3D for all my 3D printing and modeling and find it to be a very natural way to approach 3D work. In this example, I'll use this very simple model of a cube and ring. The cube is labelled with front, back, left, right, and top sides so that it's easier to see what's going on. I've included the ring because you'll get a sense of how difficult it can be to keep track of round objects when rotating them. Looking at the cube and ring together can help make better sense of the movement. And you can see that I've aligned the cube with the top, back, left, and right sides of the orientation cube in the top right. How you control the model will depend on your mouse or trackpad and whether you're on Windows or Mac OS. Panning and zooming are the easiest to navigate. To pan the model around, click and hold the scroll wheel on your mouse and move side to side. On a Mac trackpad, hold the Shift, Option, or Command key and use 2 fingers to swipe side to side. Now let's look at zooming. If you're using a mouse with a scroll wheel, simply scroll backwards and forwards to zoom in and out. On a Mac trackpad, hold down the Control key and use 2 fingers to swipe up and down on the trackpad. On an Apple Magic Mouse, hold down the Option key and use a 1-finger swipe up and down the surface of the mouse. An important point here is that panning and zooming are not affected by where the cursor or pointer is. The pointer can be in free space or over the model and the behavior doesn't change. Rotating the model is different. When rotating the model, the position of the pointer will affect the rotating behavior, and this can be frustrating if you're not aware of it. But these tips make it easy. It's easier to work with your model if you can rotate it without moving it around too much. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to work with, and the constant motion can make you feel dizzy. The proximity of the pointer to your model is important in this situation. Now, just quickly, to activate rotation, on a 3-button mouse, hold down the right mouse button and slide the mouse. On a trackpad, use a 2-finger swipe, and on an Apple Magic Mouse, use a 1-finger swipe. Notice here that the pointer is currently set back from the model. Rotating using a mouse or trackpad from this position rotates with the Z-axis as the center of rotation. The Z-axis appears to remain stationary. Moving the pointer closer to the model and then rotating makes the whole model appear to move, and the Z-axis moves around with it. Now, the model isn't moving in the drawing space, that is, where it's located on the grid doesn't change, just your view of it changes, and by quite a lot. How close you need to be depends a little on the size of the model and the amount of zoom that you're at. But generally, when the pointer is further away, the model rotates with the Z-axis as the center of rotation. The same applies for wherever the pointer is located on the screen, as long as it's far enough away from the model. When the pointer hovers over the model, the center of rotation will be from whatever is being highlighted. When I hover over the right side of the front face of the cube, the center of rotation will be where the pointer is on that face. Note here how the front edge appears to remain stationary and the left edge of the front face comes around into view. Likewise, if I move over to the right face, the same applies. Hovering over the top surface on the front corner shows the same rotation effect. Now, when I hover over the ring, the movements appear quite exaggerated because a larger object is being rotated. Understanding how this rotation works can save you a lot of frustration when moving around a complex model. Take for example this dust collection adapter that I designed for a Ryobi router. I'm currently in visualization mode, and there are no XYZ axes to guide me. I can rotate the model in a controlled way by hovering over this center section. Notice how the center of rotation changes when I hover over this hexagonal cavity. And remember, when navigating around your workspace and rotating your model, it can be very helpful to keep your movements slow and purposeful. Keeping your rotation, panning and zooming to a minimum will help you keep your work less visually intense and exhausting. If you found that helpful or have other tips to add to this quick demo, then I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.